Most companies think they're doing AI, but according to Benedict Evans, most of them are missing the part that actually determines who survives the next waves, and honestly, after hearing his latest presentation, I think he's right. Today we're diving into the talk every AI leader should pay attention to. Benedict Evans' AI Eats the World. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear view of what's actually changing, what's the noise, and what's your AI strategy must adapt to right now. Alright, let's get into it. So first, let's set the stage. Who is Benedict Evans and why do senior leaders take his perspective so seriously? Benedict has spent the last 20 years as a tech strategist, including deep work with A16Z, specializing specifically in platform transitions. He's seen the PC wave, the web wave, the smartphones, social, and now AI. His entire job is to bridge the gap between hype and business reality. He's not selling compute, he's not pushing an AI product, he's not sugarcoating anything. He's trying to help leaders understand where is the power shifting and who is going to capture the margins. And this talk, delivered in Singapore at Super AI 2025 to a room full of CTOs and investors, hit those questions hard. The big question these leaders brought to the room were things like, is AI a bubble? Is it just another software cycle? Or is this the moment where everything we know about software economics breaks? What Benedict delivered was 90 slides of clarity, and what I'm going to do is translate that into a few key insights you can actually use. Now we're going to talk about the moving target that is AI, and this part set the foundation. One of Benedict's opening ideas is something I absolutely love. AI is whatever doesn't work yet. Back in the day, AI meant database. Then it meant search, then it meant classical machine learning. And once those things became reliable, we've stopped calling them AI. Today, we slap the AI label mostly on LLMs, generative models, and agents. Everything else just quietly becomes normal software. And why does that matter? Because when you understand that AI is moving target, you also understand that the adoption curve is driven by novelty, not capability. We call the new thing AI until it stops feeling magical. This is big clue. The AI transition is deeper and older than most leaders realize. Next, we need to talk about platform cycles, and this is where Benedict's talks gets really interesting. According to Benedict, AI fits nearly into a platform we've lived through before. Tech evolves in waves. Mainframes, PC wave, the web wave, smartphone wave, and AI. Each wave does three things. First, attract massive early investments. 2. Reshape who wins and loses. 3. Rarely kills the previous layer. This last one is important. AI isn't deleting your software stack, it's stacking on top of it. You're not tossing your smartphone because you own a laptop. You're not tossing ChatGPT because new 3D or video models arrive. Everything layers, and inside those layers, power shifts. Benedict's point is simple, but profound. This wave will reshape winners and losers without deleting everything beneath it. Now let's talk about the part everyone keeps getting wrong, the models. Benedict argues that models are trending toward commoditization. Big tech is spending hundreds of billions on data centers and GPUs. At the same time, smaller labs are training good enough models with proliferating techniques. And the results, models become inputs, not modes. And honestly, we've discussed this many times. Recent research on Chinese open source models shows they often rely heavily on US frontier models. They're using distillation techniques to approximate intelligence, but the frontier edge still lives with Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI. But how about Meta? They're no longer top tier. And Grok, they're trying but not leading. The frontier table is small, so yes, models might become more interchangeable, but the cutting-edge methods, the frontier intelligence, the real breakthroughs, those are still held by a tiny set of labs. Now we have to talk about adoption because this is where the gap is widening fast. You know, Benedict makes a point I've been hammering for months. Lots of people try AI, very few use it daily in core workflows. And that gap, it's not just a slow adoption problem, it's a capability inequity problem. In any team, the difference between someone who's 8, 9, or 10 in AI fluency and someone who's 2, it is night and day. It's 10x productivity, motivation matters, understanding model behaviors matters. Corporate integration and governance matter. And then Andrej Karpathy added something this week and I think makes Benedict's point even more powerful. We need to imagine LLMs as non-human alien intelligences with their own logic and constraints, so we can partner with them more effectively. This isn't sci-fi, it's practical. It helps us prompt, collaborate, and build better systems. So the next question becomes, how do we choose the right beachheads? And that leads to the next critical idea. This might be the most important leadership insight in the entire talk. Adaptation is path dependent. Where you start shapes what becomes possible later. It's like spreadsheets. The teams that adopted them early didn't just get faster, they changed how information moved through the business. They changed who owned the numbers, they changed what decisions were possible. AI is the same. If your first experiments are summarize this document, you'll never discover the compounding benefits of agent assistant onboarding, support, triage, and internal coordination. Your beachheads define your future. Choosing where to adopt AI is not just sandbox experiment, it's a strategic path decision. And now let's talk about how this ties directly into organizational power. This part is subtle but hugely important. Tech cycles don't just change software. They change organizations. Spreadsheets change who needed to talk to whom. Clouds change who controlled infrastructure and who could move fast. AI will change coordination, synthesis, approval change, and decision bottlenecks. A model that can read your emails, stack threads, dashboards, tickets, and make suggestions? That is an informal chief of staff for every knowledge worker. Not in 2035, in 2026. That changes who needs a team, who owns workflows, where bottlenecks appear, and what roles shrink or grow. But here's the kicker, if you treat AI as just a tool rollout, you'll miss the fact that you're doing an org design rewrite at the same time. What do we need to do with this? We're coming off one of the most expensive weeks in AI I can remember. Visual reasoning breakthroughs, semantic video search, Nano Banana Pro, Gemini 3, just constant breakthroughs. And if you're a leader, you almost have to step back and ask yourself, does any of this change my strategic operating reality? Benedict framework helps you answer that. It helps you ask, what's shifting in the tech cycle? How will my org chart change? How is information following differently? What power do I have with vendors now? What becomes just a future in an AI-saturated world? If you're overwhelmed, start here. Take a day, step back, think like Benedict's. Whiteboard it, build your mental model of the world before you rebuild your own AI roadmap. Because your conviction, your clarity, your energy, those are the things your team will follow. So that's the heart of Benedict Evans' AI Eats the World, and honestly, it's one of the clearest strategic lenses we've got on the future of AI. If you want more breakdowns like this, the stuff leaders actually need to stay ahead, make sure you subscribe, hit like, and drop a comment telling me which part hit you the hardest. And if you want the next briefing, I'll see you right back then.